Hey, everybody, welcome to another exciting episode of Javier in the Air. So, this is season 3, episode 11, for those of you keeping count. And those of you who have never seen my show before, welcome. Welcome to Javier in the Air. I hope you enjoy it. Brief overview. I live in Cedar Park, Texas, right on the border with Cedar Park and Austin. I like to interview and talk about mainly me lately, but I love to interview people as well. I will interview just about anybody. If you have a passion for something, a hobby that you want people to know about, a small mom and pop business that you want to get on the air and get some more free publicity, then be sure and let me know. So I try to do that on the first half of the show, talk a little bit about some projects I'm working on. If people are interested to know, they can reach out to me and I can tell them how to do it or where to go to get the resources to do it. And then also I keep looking at the wrong spot. I'm looking at myself and not the camera. That's why it looks kind of weird. And then also, that's where I interview people that are passionate or have a small business or something like that. And then the second half of the show is about spirits. Spirits meaning alcohol, beer, or wine, not the supernatural stuff. So I have. It just depends on what it is that I have for the spirits that I do it. So this time I will be doing a beer. It's been a while since I did it, so I will have a beer later on in the show. Plus a new section that I started a couple of weeks ago called Old Man Rant. So some of you might like it, some of you may not, some of you may have an affinity for it because I agree with that old man. So I got it on the show, and then this week I'm bringing back Zen Moment that I hadn't done in a while, and so I'm gonna have it out there with a new poem by Jay Anderson. So I think it's gonna be a good show. Okay, so let's talk a little bit about the project. So I got the patio going. I showed you a little bit of that last week. You saw the concrete. You saw how it was scored. It's a diamond pattern. I have to wait about 3 more weeks before I can try to stain it. So right now it is unbelievably bright when you step out back, because since there are no more trees back there, the sun is directly onto the concrete. The concrete is nice and fresh and white, and so it is reflecting the light, so it is very bright in the back. So in fact, that's why I don't even have the blinds open right now, because it is that bright. But then it's fantastic in the evening. A soft breeze usually comes across the lawn, and it's beginning to really shape up. I'm really beginning to get some work on there. I laid down some sod, kind of a border around the length and one of the sides of the patio. So I keep wanting to say slab, but it's a patio now. It's officially a patio. So and I want to start trying to find ways to make sure that I don't lose any of the mud and topsoil and dirt that is further out from the patio. So that's why I started putting down sod. So I'm going to have, if anybody has any suggestions, you can go back to last week's episode, take a look at the patio. I'm sure I'll show it again before I do anything else. And if you have any good ideas, Pinterest or otherwise, or you've done it in your yard and you want to show me, I'll put it on the show. So, okay, so that's the patio. Now, I do have some other projects that I'm working on in the back, and one of them is having to do with the trunk that was left from the Arizona ash tree that I had in my backyard. If you go back, I think episode 5 or 6, you'll see that at different times, different portions of the tree fell down, and I had to cut it all up. And this is when I still had the wooden deck, which led me to why not do a patio. So anyway, I cut down part of the tree limbs, and then a bigger section fell after one of the cold snaps, and that was just destruction across the yard. It broke tables, and it broke the PVC cage I had around my gardening, and well, I'll talk about that in a minute. So the trunk is left. So let's take a quick look at the trunk, and then I'll talk a little bit about some gardening that I'm doing. All right. Okay, this is the start of the trunk project. As you see there, I have a hammer and what's basically a nail puller, but I'm using it as a chisel to take off this bark of this Arizona ash. Now the good thing about a couple of things I did was waited for it to start drying out a little bit so that the bark has gaps between it and the actual trunk wood. And so as you can see, I started taking bits off. Now I'm not going to tell you, as you can see here, you can see the gap there, and in fact I can pull that off. Yeah, now some people say it's rotted, but it's really not, it's just dead. So I'm going to keep working on it, remove all the bark, and then I'm going to do something else. But I wanted to just start this so that you can be tuned in every week to see what I'm going to do. Let me step back a bit. And there's part one of the trunk project. Okay, and I'm back. So that was the trunk. I have some really good ideas in my head about what I really want to do, so I don't want to spoil it because chances are I may get into week 2 or 3 and I realize I can't do what I want to do, or it turns out what I want to do. So I don't want to do that. So I will update everybody week by week to see if I can do what I want to do. First to the trunk, and then the surrounding area around the trunk. So I don't want to spoil it any further. So, okay. So this week, I mentioned last week that I was going to get going on the garden, and I got going on the garden. I'm proud of myself that I actually said I was going to do a project, and I did it on the show, and I did it. So here's just a quick update and look at what I am planting so far this year. The start of the season was actually beginning of March, and I'm a little late to it, but I finally got it out there because I got everything else cleared away. So check it out. Hey everybody, it's that time of year, planting season. So I got the PVC all broken down because it broke down because of the tree. So made it easier for me to get in here this time. I will set it up again to try to make sure it doesn't get any birdies. And so I have both of them planted this year, and this is what I have planted. Let's see if I can get it without putting the camera down. So this is white loofah. I also have purple carrots. Also have multicolored carrots. And then I have watermelon, green on the outside, yellow on the inside. Watermelon standard, red on the inside, green on the outside. And 2 more. Watermelon orange on the inside, green on the outside. This is not cantaloupe, it is actually watermelon. And then these, which you don't have the name because they was too tiny to print on there. These are purple on the inside, green on the outside. So let's see what I'm gonna get. I'm hoping I can get some good ones this season. So there you have it. I decided to try to go a little bit less crazy than I did last season. So last season, our last planting season, I should say, I really wasn't sure how to grow some things or how to do some things. So I was putting too many seeds out there, and it was just kind of a mishmash. Plus, I forgot to mark down what was where, so that made it a little bit hard for me to try to figure out when I was talking about it on the show. So as you saw there, this time I decided to go very regimented. So in that first garden one, I talked about the loofah and the carrots. So the loofah are all along one side of the garden plot, and then in different spots, 1 seed per hole for the carrots. So I didn't get any carrots last year, so I'm really hoping that this will do it, that I planted early enough to get the carrots that I want. The second garden bed, you saw that I went with 4 varieties of watermelon. And I also kind of kept those 1 seed per hole, but I kind of grouped it together 3 or 4 per section. So basically like a cube and cross-section it, and then I put it into each quadrant. I don't know if that's going to help. I'm hoping it is, and what I'm hoping for is that one or two of the shoots from each quadrant actually start growing better than the other two. So if the other two start coming out later in the year, I may pull those so that there's only those two in each there's only two per quadrant, and I can try to wrap their vines around certain things. I got some more. Well, watermelon you want to keep on the ground, so I want to make sure I have them on the ground so that they can do okay. So we'll see how it goes. Wish me luck. So that's the garden project. So those are the projects that I worked on, and it turned out real nice. So now what I want to talk about a little bit is coffee. So I should have this on Spirit Times, but it's not a Spirit, so I'm not going to have it on there. So I've been looking for different various coffee places around mom and pop locations, of course. And I had gone to some in the past, and some I didn't find very well, so I'm not going to mention them here that are nearby me, but I don't go to them anymore for different reasons. But I just found a fantastic one. I hate to talk about it because it's all of a sudden it's going to become super popular and I won't be able to get in. So on 183 on the frontage road, just past the DPS. So heading on 183 south. Say you coming from Lake Creek Parkway, or you're coming from 620. You want to take a right and start going on the frontage road and stay on the frontage road. You're going to go through Lake Creek Parkway. You're going to go through actually after Lake Creek Parkway on the right hand side. You want to slow down a little bit. You're going to see the DPS, and just past that is a brand new shopping strip, and on that corner of the building is a great little coffee and bakery shop called Cure, C-U-R-E, Cure Coffee and Bakery. So I had an opportunity to go out there this morning, and let's take a look. Hey everybody, out here at Cure Bakery and Coffee, right off of 183. And I don't know if you can see that, the Turkish coffee and an apricot Danish. Let's see, I haven't had any of the coffee yet. So good, so good. If you like Turkish coffee, this is definitely the way to go out here at Cure. So here I am outside of the coffee and bakery shop. As you notice, they are open Monday through Sunday. Monday through Saturday, 7 to 6, and it looks like Sunday from 8 to 5. So this is the apricot Danish that I got. That was just absolutely perfect. Little powdered sugar, just the right amount of cream cheese in there, and the apricot was fantastic. This was I want to say egg and sausage biscuit that my friend was eating. I'm sorry if I didn't get the right combination. And here is the Turkish coffee that also had a nice almond soft cookie with it. Really fantastic. So you need to come out and check it out for sure. Okay, so there you have it. So by the way, those almond cookies were just and I say almond because that's what it tasted like to me. Maybe if they're watching the show, they'll let me know what it's actually comprised of, but it's really good. And the Turkish coffee was fantastic, just top notch. Made right there and then, of course, and they brought it to our table and totally enjoyed it. So if you have an opportunity and you live in the area and you're looking for a new coffee shop along with some great pastries, then give Cure, not to be confused with The Cure, great band, but Cure Coffee Shop and Bakery right there on 183 Frontage Road. By the way, they were also playing some fantastic 80s music, and as it was pointed out to me last night, I am a total snob when it comes to music from the 80s. So that is the best era. That's all there is to it. It's the best decade. So all right, so there was the coffee. So now we're going to get into, I was trying to decide whether I should do the Old Man Rant first and then go into the Zen, or do the Zen and then do the Old Man Rant first. And I figured might as well just anger up the blood first and then go into a nice Zen-like moment so that we go back to level set before we go into spirit time. So let's check out Old Man Hav and see what his rant is about today. Old Man Rant. Yeah! Okay, this one really gets in my craw. I don't know why, but it does. Maybe some other older folks out there will also enjoy what I'm about to say. ATMs. That's right. Been around for a long time, and that's okay. But remember back in the day when you would go and say, let's say you're going out to a party, or you're going to go gamble, or you're going somewhere, and say you pull out $100, right? So you would get 5 20s, right? And then all the 20s were face up, all in the same direction. This kind of goes in with cash registers nowadays too. So I don't know, for a lot of people that don't like to use cash anymore, I won't even get onto that rant. So this is just simply about money coming out of ATMs. So I've noticed two things. I went to an ATM once, pulled out some money. They're not in the same order. They're not facing the same direction. So it was really weird. They're upside down, didn't matter. So I guess the computer scanners are so sophisticated these days that they're able to figure out what's what, and they don't have to worry about orientation. But it drives someone like me nuts. Put them all in the same. It doesn't take any longer. Bank tellers used to do it all the time, and when they would fill and they would run it through, and they would have the money on the ATM, and it'd be ready to go, and they were all in the same direction. I know this is petty of me, but it just ticks me off. So something else that happens at the ATMs that I noticed too is that there's a certain bank. I don't want to say the name, but it rhymes with schmank of a schmerica. Go to that ATM, and just the past couple of years, they started telling you, would you like to choose your denominations? So I've tried 3 different times now at two different schmank of schmericas, and I decided that I would say yes. Give me my money. First of all, I did it in 5s, and it immediately said, we don't have that denomination. We are going to give you, and we will choose the denomination for you. And then they gave it to me in 20s. So then a couple of months later, I tried it again and said, yes, I'm going to pull out some money. Give me 10s. And it said, sorry, we do not have that denomination. We are going to use the denomination that we do have. And they gave me 20s. So what's the point? Yeah, sure, maybe at some point there were 5s and 10s on there, but I seriously doubt it. I doubt people are coming up there all the time and saying, yeah, give me my $3,000 in 5s. I doubt that they have it, and because I doubt that. I've never seen them run out of 20s, ever. They fill those puppies up all the time. But 10s and 5s, they just seem to be like, let's just mess with our people and tell them that they have a choice, but they don't. So money in the same order, which is so easy to do. I've handled money before in different jobs when I was a kid. I'm sure some of you out there have as well. And you were told, put it in the same direction. So I know the ATMs can do this when they load it. I know the guys that are loading it can do it, but they're not even the ones that are doing it. They're just receiving the money to put into the machines. So whoever is putting the money in order, or actually not in order, how about we try putting it in order for a while, right? Okay, this is Old Man Rant, and yes, there's a reason why it's called Old Man Rant, because not only am I an old man, but some of them may appear silly to you, but that's why it's an Old Man Rant. So check that out next time you go to the ATM. I kid you not, check it out. Thanks, Old Man Hav. So there's your Old Man Rant for the week. And again, like he said, it's silly. It's stupid. And people may be totally like, why would he be upset about that? That's why it's an Old Man Rant. So maybe I'll have an old woman rant sometime if somebody wants to come on and have either a differing opinion or their own opinion of something they want to rant. Just let me know and I'll have you on the show. Okay, so now that I've angered up the blood, I'd like to just bring everything down for a moment, and let's have a really nice Zen moment with a new poem by Jay Anderson, which is, I believe, a modified version of an existing poem, but he really wanted to get it out there. So let's check it out. I stand by a tree and I feel it begin. I feel the tears start to fall. But I hear a voice and lean in close. And what I hear changes all. It said, I am the voice of thousands strong. I am thousands of winds that blow along. I am the flakes of falling snow. I am the showers and downpour of rain, and yet I ever rise again. I am the quiet of the night. I am the flutter of the wings of all birds in constant flight, and know not where or should I land. I am the light upon the growing wheat. I am that which keeps you from defeat. I am the golden glow upon the heap. So do not cry, do not weep. See, that brought us all back to a nice level, nice even keel now for the last parts of the show. So, thanks to the poem by Jay Anderson and a great little, I don't know what the name of those trees are, but I saw them this morning on my morning walk and I liked it, so I thought I'd get it onto the show. So I had something else in mind, but I went with this instead. So, um, okay, so now that we're back to a nice and even keel, why don't we go on to Spirit Time? Javier in the Air presents Spirit Time. Yeah. Hey, welcome to Spirit Time. So, for those of you, once again, who have not seen Spirit Time, because we didn't do it last week, and you're new to the show, once again, welcome. And second of all, this is the time that has divided a lot of people that watch the show. So there's some people that like to watch the show because they like to see the projects I'm doing, and they like to see the people that I interview. And then there's the other people that watch the show who really just want to watch the what craziness or what fantastic beers, wines, or spirits does Javier going to have on the show. So here's the thing. So I have some people that watch the first half and then go away, and have other people that zoom through to the second half, watch that, and then go away. So I'm hoping that maybe, and in between those two types of people are the small section that like to watch the entire show. So I have some announcements for the end of the show, so maybe we can bring those people back together somehow by just, if you haven't seen the second half of the show, welcome. Please watch it. I think you'll enjoy it. If you only watch the first half of the show, if you only watch the second half of the show, go back and check the first part of the show. I think you're going to like it. There's a lot of things out there in season 1 and even parts of season 2 that's not just me. And but we'll talk about that later. Spirit Time. So today is a beer. I want to thank Scott, specifically Scott, because he was there at the Boutique for one, being open and available, two, always having some fantastic beers. Not only fantastic, but always having variety of beers. I am just amazed. I thought, wow, I was a novice, I was a noob, but I thought I had seen a large portion of the beers that had been created out there a couple years ago when I first started doing the beer reviews before I actually started this show. And I hit 100 in a row, and I didn't even put a dent into the number of beers that Scott and Jana have available out there at the Boutique. So if you're not a coffee fan and you don't go to the Cure, go to the Boutique and talk to Scott or Jana. very well versed in and deep into the lore of beer, and knowledge is unsurpassed. They will start you out on the right track if you are interested in getting into the beer, knowing about the beer, and for those of you who drink beer already, going above and beyond that which you already drink. So it's always great to find something that you like. And sometimes you may hit a couple of, I don't want to name a couple of things, but there's a couple of beers out there that have pickle in them. I just cannot get into that. But hey, if you're a fan of that, let me know. I'll have you on the show, and we can argue why you think the pickle is good in the beer, and I'll tell you why it's definitely not. Okay, so today, speaking of unique and fantastic beers, I grabbed a couple again. A couple of breweries that I do know, but this one I do not know. So this is, let's see if I can find it. It is NOLA, and this is the New Orleans Lager and Ale Brewing Company out of obviously NOLA, New Orleans, Louisiana. This is called Darkest Before Dawn, and it is a Munich style dark lager. I'm going to say that again because it's got a lot of stuff in there, and it was very interesting to me, all these words put together in one line. Munich style dark lager. So I really never seen this before, and I'm truly interested to see what it looks like, what a dark lager is. So let me show you the can. So there's Darkest Before Dawn, and there's NOLA, the New Orleans Brewing Company out of New Orleans, and it is a 5.5, so it's a little on the low side, which means it's a good starter beer. I was just discussing that with someone who was making fun of the fact that the bro and I like to drink beers that are much, much heavier in alcoholic content, in ABV. And some of her friends were amazed that she was talking about beers that were like 9, 10, 11, even 12%, and couldn't believe it. But they're out there. So let me pour this. I'm holding the mic in a new way, so I can't really show it as I pour. But oh my God, this is beautiful. So let me get my trusty beer glass going. So here it is. I don't know if you can see. I mean, you can see, just lightly see, how it's not black. It is a dark brown. You can see here the light coming through the glass, and oh my word, this looks good. So definitely the standard aroma and flavors that you get from a lager. And I'm just so interested that it's so dark, but it's a beautiful brown, maybe hints of red to it, but brown to it. So hence the dark lager. Javier, shut up and drink. I'm going to shut up and drink. Oh, that is nice. That is nice. That is a nice, smooth lager. Everything you would like about a lager, for those of you who like lagers, this is nice. This is really nice. I think it's a great, nice, refreshing. Not much on the acidity. Good on the front end, good on the back end. No extra special notes of any kind, but I wouldn't expect that in the lager. And I think it's really good. NOLA's got something on here. Darkest Before Dawn. This is something that I might have in my regular rotation of beers for when friends come over and use my new patio. So, hold on a second. Fantastic. So that was Darkest Before Dawn, NOLA's Munich style dark lager. So very fantastic. I appreciate Scott being there, and I appreciate NOLA for churning out something that I personally have never seen before, which is a Munich style dark lager. So way to go, Nola. I'm going to go ahead and give this one 8.5 thumbs up. So, for those of you who don't know, the scale is 0 to 10 thumbs up, and any point in between those two numbers. So, we can't even have fractions, as the brother Rob has shown before in the past. So, if you have a chance, go out to the boutique. If you're not near the boutique, you don't even live in the state, find yourself a bottle shop or go to New Orleans. Hey, if you're not in Texas, might as well go to New Orleans, right? And get yourself Darkest Before Dawn. Great little beer, 8 thumbs up, and enjoy. Oh, sorry, we're back. Just still enjoying that lager so much. Um, I want to thank everybody for watching the show. This is a wrap. This is the end of season 3, episode 11. I hope everybody enjoyed it. If you have any questions, thoughts, or comments about the show itself or some of the projects that you saw inside it, then please shoot me a message in the comments at Javier In The Air on YouTube. Or if you know me on Facebook, you can shoot me a message there. You can even find me on Instagram as well. If you have some projects that you'd like maybe for me to do, send me those as well. If you run a mom and pop store and of any sort and you'd like to get on the show, just direct message me. Or if you know somebody that owns a mom and pop store that would get on the show, just let me know and I will be glad to have them on. So also want to give thanks to Cure Coffee and Bakery for being out there this morning. Thanks again for the wonderful food, and of course the boutique and NOLA Brewing Company. So next week is going to be what I have been trying to do for a long, long time now, is actually have somebody on the show. So you're going to get to see somebody other than the beautiful Hub talking about himself and all the things I do. So you're going to be able to see someone. I don't want to give it away yet. I'll probably post it on Instagram later on in the week. But it's great, and it's not me interviewing myself. I'm actually interviewing somebody for the first time in a long time. So I hope you will enjoy her on the show and possibly have someone lined up for the following week, if not maybe the week after. So I have people that are coming on the show. If you're interested in doing a part-time co-host for an episode or two, let me know. I can certainly set something up here or in a general public area, set up some cameras so that we can have a discussion about things and what's going on in the world amongst all the other stuff that we do. So enjoy it. I hope you have a good rest of our good week. If you're on vacation, enjoy. If you're coming off vacation, so sad. And I will talk to everybody again next week. Thanks a lot, everyone.